Owned by Miami-Dade Transit, this is downtown Miami's Peoplemover. I introduce to you Miami Metromover.
Welcome to the Gold Coast Transit Series.
3, 2, 1, go!
Following the trip I took on Miami Metro Rail, which is also owned by Miami-Dade Transit, I took that from Miami International Airport on the Orange Line to here, Government Center. Government Center is also connected to Miami Metromover, today's video. Anyways, let's get right in. To get to the Metromover part of Government Center, you have to actually walk down these stairs and follow the signs that says Metromover. There's 3 lines on Metromover. 1, the inner loop. 2, the Brickell loop. And 3, the Omni loop. Today we're riding the inner loop to Night Center, staying the night at a hotel, and then the next day riding Night Center to Government Center on the inner loop once again. The Brickell loop terminates south at the Financial District, the Omni loop terminates north at the School Board, and the inner loop is just a big loop inside the Brickell and Omni loop. Oh, I forgot to mention that this Peoplemover is completely free. You don't need a ticket or pass to walk in. Although the Metromover and Metro Rail are both owned by Miami-Dade Transit, the Metro Rail is not free, unlike the Metromover. See last week's video for more. Unfortunately, the escalators weren't working, so we had to take this sketchy staircase down to the platforms. Here we are at the Government Center Metromover platforms, and look at that, the train's here waiting for us. You're probably wondering, except the PA announcements, there's no reason to tell if it's inner loop, Omni loop, or Brickell loop. Well, the inner loop is the only loop with 2 cars, while the Omni and Brickell loops have 1 car. Me personally, I think it should be the opposite, since the Omni and Brickell loops are longer and bigger than the inner loop, but I don't really mind. Leaving Government Center, which means our next stop is Wilkie D. Ferguson Jr., which actually transfers to Brightline. Want to learn more about Brightline? Watch the first video in the Gold Coast Transit Series. Speaking of the Gold Coast Transit Series, this is the last trip report of the series, but that doesn't mean the series is over. We still have videos coming to you about South Florida's transit until the month of April. This is crazy. This 4-train trip turned into a big step up for my channel. Anyways, back to Metromover, or you could call it a free-to-ride automated Peoplemover system operated by Miami-Dade Transit in Miami, Florida. It serves the downtown Miami, Brickell, Park West, and Arts and Entertainment District neighborhoods. Metromover connects directly with Metro Rail at Government Center and Brickell stations. It also connects to Metro Bus, boo, with dedicated bus loops at Government Center and Adrian Arched Center Station. It originally began service to the downtown inner loop on April 17, 1986. It was later expanded with the Omni and Brickell loop extensions on May 26, 1994. Alright, back to the ride. What we just did is we switched to the front car so we could get this quote-unquote RFW. Wilkie D. Ferguson Jr. is now down the drain. Next stop is College North. If you didn't notice about the 3 times I said downtown, well, it is downtown, which means we're going to see a lot of the Miami skyline. Fun fact, some of the 21 Metromover stations are actually inside other buildings. For example, Night Center is actually a station that is in a building, which is where we're going to get off and get back on tomorrow. And since this is a Peoplemover, the distance in between stations aren't going to be that far. One thing you really need to know about Metromover is that there's no seats on board. And just like Metro Rail, it uses third rail electrification. Its average speed is a whopping 9 miles per hour, but its top speed is 31 miles per hour. Out of only 3 downtown Peoplemovers in the U.S., the other 2 being the Jacksonville Skyway and the Detroit Peoplemover, the Metromover is by far the most successful in terms of ridership, the only completed system of the 3, and considered to be a catalyst for downtown development. Now, I obviously haven't rode neither the Jacksonville Skyway or the Detroit Peoplemover, but here's one Peoplemover off my list. Metromover mainly uses 29 Bombardier Innovia APM 100 vehicles. the first 12 of which were delivered during the summer and fall of 2008. These newer vehicles replaced the first 12 Westinghouse C100 cars, which were built by Westinghouse Electric in 1984 and include a more aerodynamic design as well as an onboard CCTV system. Also, if you haven't realized already, each outdoor station looks the exact same, with that little staircase at the other side looking like a dome, and this tiny staircase leading to outside. Leaving College Bayside, you can already see First Street in sight, which is 2 stations away from Knight Center. Since the car isn't busy, here's a quick look at the interior. Well, actually there is seating right there to the right. Here you can see an Omni or Brickle Loop service, since it only has one car in the consist. And then right after that, Bayfront Park is in sight. Rounding the corner, the sunset will somewhat be in sight. And then you see that gray building full of glass windows to the right? Oh, that's Knight Center, an indoor station that I was talking about earlier. Just because we got off the train here at Knight Center doesn't mean the trip is actually over. We're gonna get on tomorrow from Knight Center to Government Center. So we're basically riding the whole entire inner loop.
So what are you doing now?
Government Center has sketchy stairs, while Knight Center has sketchy escalators. Alright, let's skip to the morning, shall we? Alright, here we are the next day, ready to ride Metromover again through one station, Miami Avenue, then arriving in the Government Center. Here we are back at the Knight Center, which means we're back at the sketchy escalators. Alright, we're back at the Knight Center platforms. Before our inner loop train arrived, an Omni Loop train arrived with only one headlight. And then our train came right after it. And look, it's the same consist as yesterday. That's what we thought until our train was out of service.
May I have your attention, please? This call is being removed from service.
There was actually a person on the train that was refusing to get off the train, so someone had to call security to get them off. Following the out-of-service incident, we had to get on a train that only had one car in the consist, which I mentioned earlier in the video. Interloop trains always have 2 car services, but this time it only had 1 car. So a rare situation because of the out-of-service incident. After this turn, we will be approaching the last intermediate stop of the trip. Last intermediate stop of the Gold Coast Transit Series. It is Miami Avenue, which is actually the only station on the inner loop that isn't connected to the Omni or Brickell loop. Here we are passing the Metromover yard where everything is built and stowed for inventory. We're approaching our last stop, Government Center, which means this ride is coming to an end. Hey look, it's the Metro Rail tracks right above us. Metromover is an absolute joyride. It's plenty clean even though its stations aren't, and it doesn't have any delays, and it's very consistent. I forgot to tell you that trains run every 2 to 3 minutes. That is just crazy in my books. And then again, it's completely free. This is probably the best people mover out of the 3 downtown people movers in the US, in my opinion at least. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and stay tuned for next week's Reviewing Trains upload, Tri-Rail.